She was sent to prison for helping smuggle messages for one of the world's worst terrorists. A terrorist linked to the first World Trade Center bombings who inspired the second ones. Now, she's been released early, thanks to a request by the Obama administration. How on earth did that happen? Next.
That way, please.
That is a video from the 1993 World Trade Center bombing that left 6 people dead, more than 1,000 injured, and a nation shaken. Tonight, concerns those painful memories are being outweighed by progressive politics, basically. The convicted terrorist, known as the Blind Sheikh, accused of inspiring that attack, was actually put behind bars for plotting to bomb multiple New York City landmarks. After he was sentenced to life in prison, he was banned from any communication with the outside world because this is what terrorists do. But attorney Lynn Stewart, who represented him, violated the rules, and she was convicted in 2005 of helping smuggle messages from the convicted Blind Sheikh to his terrorist groups abroad. Supposed to be behind bars until 2018, she was. And now she is a free woman, thanks to a helping hand from the administration. Now in a Kelly File exclusive, Deborah Burlingame. She's the director and co-founder of 9/11 Families for a Safe and Strong America. She is the sister of the late Captain Charles Burlingame, who piloted the plane that the terrorists crashed into the Pentagon on September 11th. This is unbelievable. Yeah. She had stage 4 breast cancer, and she said she didn't want to die in a strange, loveless place. So, pursuant to a request by the administration, the judge said, off you go, and now she is a free woman. Supposed to be released in 2018.
That's right. And she's been campaigning or trying to get out on compassionate release for some time. She's had cancer for a number of years, and she was actually in remission at one point. They expect her to live another 18 months, maybe less. She looked pretty hale and hearty when she came out at LaGuardia yesterday, giving interviews to the press again. She is a remorseless woman. She calls the Blind Sheikh, whose followers have maimed, mutilated, killed dozens and dozens of people in an effort to get him released. She calls him the hero of the Mujahideen. And she did more than get messages out. She facilitated actual meetings between the Blind Sheikh and his lieutenants, if you will, impersonating a translator inside the maximum prison where he was being held. She pretended to be, listening to the translation, and she even joked in the middle of one of these settings that she should get an Academy Award for how well she was doing at pretending to have a lawyer-client meeting.
After one of those messages was sent out, over 60 people were slaughtered in Luxor, Egypt, by members of the Blind Sheikh's organization. And the bodies of many of the victims were mutilated by machetes. The torso of one female victim was slit by the terrorists, and a leaflet calling for the Blind Sheikh's release was inserted. This is after she was helping him smuggle messages out to his followers.
Well, it was in 1997. He was imprisoned in 96. And you have to remember, she was on his defense team right from the get-go. He was arrested in 93, tried in 95, sentenced in 96. She knows perfectly well what he's done, and that he, in fact, was the spiritual inspiration for Osama bin Laden. Bin Laden said in September of 2000, a year before 9/11, that he was the honorable Omar Sheikh Rahman, and later said that he gave the fatwa for 9/11. So he has bloody hands, and she was convicted of material support.
So I should correct myself. So she helped him after that happened, with the people calling for his release, knowing that this happened in Egypt. She helped him.
Yes.
Nonetheless.
Well, she was.
And now is asking for her for compassion for her.
Yes, and it's true. I watched the video of her being interviewed at LaGuardia. I think is where she came in, talked about my beloved New York. It's so great to be here. Her beloved New York, the guy she calls the hero of the Mujahideen, is responsible for the deaths. Directly responsible that's his cell that hit the World Trade Center. 6 people.
Why would they do that?
And a 7.5-month-old unborn baby was blown to pieces in the garage of that place.
Why would the administration, because they have to do this through the Bureau of Prisons, controlled by the DOJ, why would they help her?
Well, you have to remember that the Attorney General has a big say in this. The Attorney General is the one who signs off every year on the security administrative directives, what they call the SAMs, Special Administrative Procedures, measures that keep him away from the press. Whenever Lynn Stewart went in to see him, she had to sign a paper saying that she would agree never to discuss or relay any messages.
I mean, yeah.
She had to.
That's why she got convicted.
Well, and she also, her sentence got, jacked up to 10 years after the appellate level said that she perjured herself on the stand.
The left-leaning Second Circuit.
But in answer to your question, Eric Holder helped in the clemency of the FALN terrorists. He was the go-to guy in the Reno Justice Department who made that happen. Eric Holder is the guy who hired a lot of the Gitmo lawyers who did this same kind of thing down at Guantanamo. That is, breaking the rules and getting messages out to mujahideen all around the world and jihadis.
When you think of her saying she didn't want to die in a strange, loveless place, and you think about how these innocent victims died at the hands of these terrorists, it's really a juxtaposition.
Well, I think about the 8 children who died on 9/11, 5 of them on my brother's plane. The mastermind behind that was inspired by her client.
Yeah, by this guy who she helped. Deb, good to see you.
Exactly right.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Thanks for coming on. Unbelievable. We're taking your thoughts on it now on Twitter. Follow me at Megyn Kelly. Let me know what you think.